And I was learning, and I just went, jing, jing.
That was it?
That was it. So that was, not much has changed in Radiohead for me.
There's a scale, and at one end of the scale is pristine, unsullied, clean underwear, and on the other end of the scale is abject fear.
Yeah.
Where were you before you went on stage? Because this was an early show.
I mean, yeah, I was really nervous, but this is a really new experience for me. And I really kind of want to embrace it, because the journey, I've been fortunate to be doing this for a while, and what I realize is the journey is everything, and that journey will involve discomfort, fear, uncertainty, success, hopefully, all those things. But what I realize is, with Radiohead, for me anyway, the success and the things that you made, it's the journey that's mattered. So what I'm trying to do is be as present as I can and enjoy it and recognize, actually, I am feeling nervous, and it's all right. And, in the first few gigs, I kind of fessed up to the audience, and I said, I'm shitting it. And actually, I said, I've been nervous since Christmas. Well, they didn't realize it was Christmas 2019, or 2018 or whatever. First musical note in a band was the G chord in the chorus of She Sells Sanctuary on an acoustic.
Oh, yes.
If you know that, ching, ching, ching. Tom played the ding-a, ding-a, ding, 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 ding. And I didn't play, I just had this acoustic guitar, and I was learning, and I just went, ching, ching.
That was it?
That was it. So that was, not much has changed in Radiohead for me.
What did? This is interesting, because now this is just your name above the door, and that is very, very different in a myriad of ways to being in a band. But with the one environment, you are Ed from Radiohead, along with Johnny from Radiohead, from Radiohead. Now it's just you. Yeah. And that's a very different mindset. Yeah. It's the security of your friends has gone. I'm not wishing to make you feel terrified here, but it's just you now, dude. It's
just me. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How does it feel?
It feels, all I can say is it feels right. I think you've got to, if you're going to do this, and I can look towards Tom and Johnny and Philip for inspiration, and many others who've done this thing, but you've got to have something that you want to communicate. I think it's interesting that the kind of creative arc. So, and this mirrors every Radiohead experience I've had on an album as well. And this friend who's a writer, she sent me this because I was in the middle in the trenches, and she just finished her book and stuff. And she sent me the 6 stages creativity. Right. So stage 1, this is great, and that's that initial yes, I'm loving it, I'm feeling it. Stage 2, this is okay. Stage 3. This is Stage 4, I am and that's the worst bit, and that is the worst part when I'm so, and then Stage 4, this is okay, and Stage 6, this is great. But that is, and I think that's a really interesting journey, because that's almost like the 3-stage play. It's like the classic arc. It's Joseph Campbell, a hero with 1,000 voices. It's that dark night of the soul. I took the kids to see this film at the IMAX at Waterloo like 6 years ago. Just, it was on at 10:30 in the morning on a half term, and it was called Hubble. and it was about when they recommissioned the space shuttle, because it had been grounded after the accident. They recommissioned it to fix the space telescope, the Hubble. And it's this 45-minute footage, and it's in IMAX, and it's about going out into space, and you see you see these astronauts, and the guy who fixes it I'd met at a Radiohead gig, which was another guy called Mike Massimino, and I'll digress slightly on that. He was a guy who turned up at a gig in 2012 and got a photo of him in the space shuttle with holding a copy of In Rainbows. Wow. And I'm like, I mean, you can meet Bono, but
that's
an astronaut, holy ski. And actually, Mike and his family became friends. And Mike came to Glastonbury 2 years ago and spoke at Glastonbury. He's an amazing guy, and he was camping with us in the teepee. Anyway, so I had this kind of like, I'm watching this film, and like, I know him. He's awesome. And anyway, it's this footage of they're fixing it, and the Earth is they're orbiting the Earth, and you look at it, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so utterly beautiful. And I talked to Mike about this, and there's this thing called astronauts get called the overview effect. They go into orbit, and they feel this spiritual connection with the planet, and they realize, they look down upon this blue jewel. She's amazing, this planet we've got, and it's the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what I was trying. That for me was the inspiration. It was just like, when Radiohead fans asked me, what kind of record? Because they'd heard, and I said, I want to make an existential dance record. And it's slightly taking the obviously, but in there's a load of truth as well. One track deals about how we can all feel very, very lonely at times in this, particularly in a city, right? There's this amazing term, this word called anomie, which I learned when I was studying a bit of sociology at college, and it was about when people moved to cities. They'd come from these rural communities, and in the Industrial Revolution, there was this new phenomena which is called anomie, it means you're very, very lonely and disconnected from people, and I just, that feels, because I feel that at times, and I'm sure everybody does. We live in this crazy, and that to me is like, this is what I want my music to, this is the only thing I can write about things like that, but also the bigger picture, which is we've got the potential to turn this around.